this is related with the merger and acquisitions. You must have heard about this word, that what are mergers and what are acquisitions. Basically, what happens when companies are trying to grow, or they just want to, expand their business, there are some, views in the areas of HR department or the management, that we have to expand. Either we have to establish a new organization, or we have to go for some mergers or acquisitions. So what are these mergers and acquisitions? Mergers and acquisitions are increasingly become a strategic choice for organizational growth. As I have just mentioned this thing, that if organization want to grow, they have to go for either merger or acquisition and achievement of the business goal, so that whatever the goals a company is having, in most of the cases what they are doing it, they are going for either merger or the acquisition, so that they can increase their productivity as well as sales in the current market. So according to that, if we talk about the merger and acquisition, that it includes the profit, empire building, market dominance, and long term survival. The ultimate goal of this is, however, maximization of shareholder values. So, if we talk about the merger and acquisition, the ultimate aim of the organization to go for merger or acquisition is only one: to achieve that desired goal, which is related with the profit of the organization. How they are going to get the profit in the organization when they are going to merge the company. Then empire building, that means they are increasing their own empire by acquiring some companies, and from 1 to 3 to 4 to 5 or 6. And then market dominance, when we are going for any merger or acquisition, it is usually said that whatever the good things the other company is having, from which we are acquiring that company, or we are merging with the company. So whatever the good things are there in that particular company, that has come to your company, and then both together work in the uh, common goal. And the common goal is what? The profitability. And the basic thing is to maximize the shareholder value. That means that whatever the shareholder values are, it is going to be maximized when we are going for any merger or acquisition. So it is very very important for any organization if they just want to grow in the present scenario, because as you know that there are a lot of competition in the market, and when the competition is too much, it can be mm, very very essential for the organization that they have to either diversify their business, or they have to go for merger or acquisition, because without that they cannot survive in the competitive environment which is prevailing in the market. The phenomena of rising merger and acquisition activity is observed world over across various continents, although it has commenced much earlier in developed countries, that is in 1895 in US and 1920 in Europe, and is relatively recent in developing countries. That means they are saying that this phenomena of merger and acquisition is already there in USA and in European countries. So in USA it is started in 1895, and in Europe it is started in 1920. That you can very well understand that why they have started this thing, because they just want to increase their empire, they want to get the maximum profitability, and they just want to get the maximum number of market dominance. And the ultimate aim is to increase the market shareholders value. So for that, Americans, what they are doing, they are just merging with other companies who are not doing well, and they are merging with the company, or they are merging with the companies who are doing really well. So they merge with the company, and both of them work together for the common goal. So it is said that it is not the new phenomena for the developed countries like USA and Europe, but for the underdeveloped country, now it becomes a very, very important part of their empire to grow in bigger manner. Then what is merger and acquisition? Merger and acquisition are defined as consolidation of companies. As the photograph says, that means that two companies are coming together, working together with the help of the financial capital is concerned, with the help of the resources are concerned, resources in the form of the products, in the form of the human resources, in the form of the raw materials, etc., etc. They come together and they consolidate the companies together so that they become a one company. Then if we talk about the merger, what is one? There are two companies, they merge together and they become a one company. So with this diagram you can very well understand then what is the meaning of merger, that there are two companies working in the in the market and they are doing very well, but after some time they find out that it's better to merge together so that whatever the profitability and whatever the special features of those both companies, they combine together and then they work for the common goal, that is the profitability. Then what is merger? Merger is the combination of two companies to form a new company, as I have just told you. Then the combination of two companies involve a transfer of ownership. That means whenever we are merging, as I am talking to you, that when we are merging, we are taking all the good things of one company and put up in another company and then work for the common goal. But in this, there is another thing which is known as the transfer of ownership. That means that if two companies are merging, so one company, suppose there is a company A and company B. So if company A is merging with company B, so whatever the ownership of company A is there, it is merged in the company B and the ownership transfer from company A to company B. So both companies surrender their stocks and issue new stock as a new company. That means that whatever the stocks they are having, stocks means that market value, shareholders things, and they what they will do, they will surrender their stocks, and they what they will do, they issue the new stock. So it we can say, as an example, I can give you an example which says that there is company A having a stock of 20, there is company B who is a stock of 20. So both A and B combined together, ownership surrendered, and 20 plus 20, that means 40 stocks are there. So now they are going to issue a new stock with the new information to the shareholders that now we are having 40 stocks and now we are going to issue the new stocks to the shareholders. Then there are different type of ways how we are going to merge. By purchasing of assets, this is one part. In this situation, what will happen, that when two companies are merging together, company is taking the stock of the second company. That means that purchasing the assets of one company, this is one way of merger, that you are only purchasing the all the assets of one company with whom you are going to merge. Then second is by purchasing the common shares. In this situation, we are purchasing the share of one company and merging with the another company. Third way of merger is by exchanging shares for assets. That means that in this situation, the two companies exchange the shares for the assets. That means, okay, I am having 100 CR worth of asset and another company is having 50 CR of asset. So in that situation, when we merge together, we will exchange the shares for the assets. And next is the exchanging the shares for shares. That means that we exchange the share from company A to company B. So if we talk about this, that there are ways of merger. Number one is by purchasing the asset of the company. Number two is by purchasing the common shares. Number three is by exchanging the shares with the assets. And number four is by exchanging the shares with share. So please remember one thing, whenever there is a question which says that, okay, what do you mean by merger? So you have to give the answer that merger is nothing but it is the combination of two companies together and working for a common goal with the transfer of the ownership. Then second point comes that which how many types of mergers are there? There are four types of mergers. Number one is purchasing of the assets by one company from the another company. Then second is they are purchasing the common shares from one company to another company. Then by exchanging of shares for assets. And the fourth is by exchanging shares with the shares. This is another way how we are going for the mergers. Then there are types of merger. Number one is horizontal merger. Number two is vertical merger. Number three is conglomerate merger, and number four is concentric mergers. These are four type of mergers which are prevailing in the market, and the companies, that means the now the developing countries are going for these type of mergers, and they are creating a big assets for them. They are creating a big share for them, and they are working for the betterment of the organization with the help of the development with the new technologies and innovations which they are acquiring from some other companies also. There are some companies who are merging with some foreign companies also, and they are acquiring some foreign companies also. Why they are doing this thing? Because they are taking all the, as I have told you that there are four type of mergers. Either they are taking the shares of that particular company, or they are exchanging the shares with the shares, or exchanging the share with the assets, or what they are doing, they are directly purchasing the assets of the company. So these are the different type of this are different type of mergers: horizontal, vertical, conglomerate, and concentric mergers. So what is horizontal merger? A merger which is occurring between companies in the same industry. That means there are two industries, like we give example, there is a Brook Bond and Lipton. These are two companies. They merge together, and now they become the Brook Bond Lipton. This is one example which I would like to give it to you. So this is a very very important example in the Indian context. Then second is in international context. If we say Pepsi and Coca-Cola, in some cases, what happened? Pepsi and Coca-Cola, they merge together, and they become PepsiCo. So you can very well understand that how the mergers are taking place. PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, what they do, they have taken the share from one company to another company. They have exchanged the shares with the assets, and they start working for the development of the organization as well as for the getting the profitability. So this is horizontal merger, that the same industry merging together and becoming a one new industry. This is the horizontal merger. Then second is vertical merger, when two companies produce same goods and services for one specific product. That means Tele Atlas is one company, TomTom is another company. These are international companies, and they become TomTom now. That means they have taken the monogram of Tele Atlas, and then they have taken the monogram of TomTom, and they combine together. These are two companies producing the same goods and services for one specific product. That means for one specific product, they are manufacturing the same product with the same services. That means there are two companies who are producing the same product, who are producing same product, and then they merge together for one specific product. Then second is eBay and PayPal. What they have done, they have merged together, and now it becomes eBay PayPal. So this is another example of vertical merger, in which two companies are producing same goods and services. That means eBay is doing the same product, and they are doing the same services. Same with the PayPal also. They are also doing the same services and the same product. Now they become eBay PayPal. This is the vertical merger. Then what is conglomerate mergers? A merger between companies involved in totally unrelated business activities. That means two companies who are working, they meet together, they merge together, but they are in different businesses. That means that they are in different businesses, but they merge together and they become the one company, which is known as conglomerate mergers. That means I am just giving you an example, Walt Disney and ABC. These are two international television companies. Now what they have done, ABC and Walt Disney merged together and it becomes Disney ABC International Television. This is one conglomerate merger. Then second is Time Warner Cable. This is one company, and the Turner. Now what they have become, the Turner a Time Warner company. That means that these are two different companies producing different products, doing different work, but they combine together and they become a one company, and this is known as conglomerate merger. As I have told you that in horizontal merger there are two companies producing same product and become one company with the same product. Vertical mergers means that there are two companies who are coming together and they become a one product. That means for one product they merge together and they sell the product in the market. Then in conglomerate merger, there are two companies with different working pattern with different products, but they merge together and become one company. Then what is concentric merger? This is the merger of companies which are into similar type of business. Just now I have given you a different type of business example, that is Walt Disney and ABC, which is conglomerate merger. Now this is concentric merger. In this merger, two companies are in similar type of businesses like Citibank and Travelers. These are two companies, they combine together and they become Citigroup. Then another example is dial-up and Netlink. Now they become dial-up internet Netlink. Next link. That means that there are two companies, one is dial-up internet and one is Next Link. They come together and they are doing the same business. They combine together and they merge together to become the concentric merger. Example. I'm quite sure that you are in a position to understand this thing, that there are different type of mergers and what are the basic mergers, how many type of mergers are there. There are four type of mergers. I'm just repeating this thing, there are four type of mergers. Then then we have described those things, that is horizontal merger, vertical merger, conglomerate merger, and the concentric merger. Now I'm going to talk to you about the acquisition. What is acquisition? When one company takes over another and clearly establish itself as a new owner, the purchase is called an acquisition. That means when there is one company, they take over another company and they clearly establish a new company. That means there is company A and company B. Company A acquire company B and make a new company which is company C. This purchase is called acquisition. This is very common nowadays, that the company who is doing very well and the company who is not doing very well, the company doing very well, they acquire another company and they merge together, they come together, and after that they make a new company and they become the new owner of the company, which is known as acquisition. Then what is acquisition? As I have told you, then there are different type of acquisitions. Number one is friendly acquisition, number two is reverse acquisition, number three is backflip acquisition, and number four is hostile acquisition. As we have discussed in merger also, there are four type of mergers. Now in acquisition also there are four type of acquisition. Number was friendly acquisition, reverse acquisition, backflip acquisition, and hostile acquisition. Now what is friendly acquisition? Two companies approve the acquisition under friendly terms. That means that there are two companies, what they do with the friendly terms together, they acquire another company. That means example is Johnson and Johnson, it is a medical company. They acquire Crucell, which is biotechnological company. So that means medical company acquire biotechnological company and it becomes a acquisition. That means Johnson and Johnson acquire Crucial company, and now both the companies when they the one Johnson and Johnson acquired a crucial company. Now the amount which both have got is 2.37 billion. That means that while going for the acquisition, the total amount worth of that particular company become 2.37 billion dollars, which is a very very big amount. Then reverse acquisition. A private company takes over a public company. That means that there is a private company prevailing in the organization, in the country, and they are taking over a public company. Like example is Clearwire. It is a wireless broadband company. They This is a private company and they take over a public company, Zoham. That means that there are reverse acquisition in which private company is acquiring the public company. Then backflip acquisition. The purchasing company becomes a subsidiary of the purchased company. That means the company who is purchasing become a subsidiary of the purchased company. That means that example they have given is Texas Air Composites. This is a purchasing company. They have purchased Continental Airline. Now Texas Air Composite is the subsidiary company of Continental Airline. This is backflip acquisition. So if I describe this thing you again, it is saying that the purchasing company becomes a subsidiary of the purchased company. That means company A is purchasing a company B. So in that situation, company A is becoming a subsidiary company of company B. This is the example which I have given you, which is Texas Air Composites. They have backflip acquisition and they acquired the Continental Airlines. Now Texas Air Composites become the subsidiary company of Continental Airlines. Now fourth is hostile acquisition. What is this? Here the entire process is done by the force. That means in hostile acquisition, as the name suggests, that whatever the acquisitions are taking place, it is taking with the force. Example is Oracle. Oracle has taken over PeopleSoft. This is by force they have taken this, and now it becomes a 10.3 billion company. So this is a hostile acquisition. So in case of acquisitions are concerned, there are also four type of acquisition. Number one is friendly acquisition. Number two is reverse acquisition. Number three is backflip acquisition, and number four is hostile acquisition. So these are four type of acquisition which are prevailing in the market, and companies are going with these acquisitions. That what are the difference between merger and acquisition? So in this situation, what we have done, we have just differentiated this thing with the help of different points which we have just identified here, and we are going to discuss about it. Number one is what is the basis, that means meaning. Fusion of two or more companies voluntarily form a new company. This is merger. Then, when an entity purchases the business of another entity, this is acquisition. Then, formation of a new company, yes, in merger it is becoming a new company. Then, in acquisition, it is not like that. Then, what is the purpose? To decrease competition and increase operational efficiency. Yes, of course. As I have told you this thing, then in the mergers, we have to decrease the competition and we have to increase the operational efficiency of that particular company. And in the acquisition, no instant, no instant new growth, because we are acquiring a new company. So it doesn't say that we are just increasing the growth of the organization. No. Then size of the business. Size of merging companies is more or less same. That means that two companies who are merging together, the size of the business are almost same. It is not either very big or not very small. Then in the acquisition, the acquiring company is bigger than the acquired company. That means in acquisition, Remember this thing, whenever the company is acquiring another company, so the company who is acquiring the company is much more bigger than the smaller company. Then in merger there are maybe three companies involved, but in acquisition there are only two companies who are involved. Then why and why not? Why it is important to merge, and what are the problems with the merger? They are saying why they are going for the merger, because they want to increase the market share. As I have told you this thing, when two companies are coming together and both are having their own clients, that means the customers. So when both the companies are coming together, definitely the number of customers are going to be increased, and the number of areas are also going to be increased. So this is increased market share. Then economic of scale, that means that whatever they are doing separately, now they are doing together. That means that they have merged together, and they are getting the benefit of economic of scale, that manufacturing in the larger quantity and selling at the discounted rate, so that they are acquiring more and more areas, and they are acquiring more and more customers in their kitty. Then profits for research and development. Of course, whenever these two companies are merging together, definitely there are a scope for the research and development also, because both the companies want to come up with the new product, and that require a lot of research work. Then reduction of competition. Of course, when there are two companies working together and they are selling the same product after merging together, definitely the competition is going to be reduced. So there is only one product with after merging, which they are going to sell it. That means the competition becomes very, very less in that situation. Then problem with the merger, class of corporate culture. This usually happens when two companies merge together. There are always competition among the corporates, because corporate from one company is coming in the corporate of another company, and they are having their own ideas and views, and they just want to work with their own ideas and views and their own new ideas. So in that situation, the things become a little bit complicated when the mergers takes place. Then increased business complexity. When two companies are coming together, the business become more complex. How becomes business become more complex? Because there are two companies merging together. One company is working with one policies, another company is working with another policy. But when they merge together, they make one policy, and it becomes little bit complex also. Then employees may be resistant to changes. In merger, this is one of the important point, that whenever the merger takes place, it is usually seen that employees are not happy, because they are not used to some other company's work culture. So it is important that first of all, when the companies are merging together, they have to see that how they are going to make employees for both from both the companies together to work together, and they work in a very, very congenial atmosphere, so that the things become more, smooth for the organization. Otherwise it is always going to be a big confrontation among the employees regarding the working pattern is concerned. Then regarding the acquisition is concerned, why is it important? Why acquisition is important, and problem with the acquisition? Number one is increase market share. Acquisition is important because when a big company is acquiring a small company, what they are doing, they are increasing the market share. As in the merger also they are doing the same thing, in this also, in acquisition also, they are increasing the market share, because whatever the company, that means the small company acquired by the big company, so whatever the clients, whatever the market is there, that they become the market of the company A, which is the bigger one. So they are increasing the market share. Then increased diversification, that means that when we are acquiring company B, for example, In this situation, what will happen, whatever the product company B is making and whatever the company A is making, now what they are doing, they are diversifying. That means company A is diversifying. They will not stop the production of that particular company which they have acquired. But in that situation, this is the best part of company A, that it is uh, usually said that they diversify in the different business. That means if company is, as I have told you, in acquisition there are companies who are acquired by another company, but they are having different working pattern. In that situation, what will happen, the business are diversified, so the profitability also increases, the customer also increases, and the areas are also going to be increased, and it will help the organization to diversify. In case of any problem, they can always go for the other products. Then excessive competition and cost maximization. In acquisition, they are reducing the excessive competition in the market. That means that whatever the competition are there, they are ready to face the challenges in the market because they have acquired a smaller company, and they are working for the getting the maximum area of the market, and they can reduce the cost. Cost maximization means they can reduce the cost of the product, but whenever they are selling the product, they can increase the prices of the product, and they can maximize the cost of that particular product. Then what are the basic problems with the acquisition? Inadequate valuation of the target. That means that when we are acquiring the smaller company, it is difficult to value the target of the company. That means it is now become difficult for the company to exactly value the target, that what is the target and how they are going to achieve that. Then ability to achieve the synergy. That means in acquisition, it becomes difficult that there are going to be a synergy between the company A and company B. That means the company big one and the smaller company. So this is also one of the difficult point regarding the acquisition is concerned. Then finance by taking huge debts. When you are acquiring the company, you have to pay a lot of money when you are acquiring a company B. That means the smaller company. For that, you have to give lot of money to the smaller company. So in this situation, the problem arises from where you are going to get the money. So you can come in a big, huge debts. Then motives for merger and acquisition. What are the basic ideas for merger and acquisition? As I have described to you about the mergers, ways of merger, types of merger, same with the acquisition, types of merger, and why it is done. And then what are the basic motives for mergers and acquisition? Number one, economic of large scale businesses enjoy both internal and external economics. The first motive for merger and acquisition is that they are enjoying the economic of scale business. That means manufacturing more products with more energy, and they are enjoying internal as well as external economics also. That means that they are enjoying the domestic as well as international market profitability also. Then elimination of competition. It eliminates intense and wasteful expenditure by different competing organizations. When we are going for either merger or acquisition, the companies are usually in the opinion that they are going to eliminate the unnecessarily competition which are prevailing in the market. How they are doing this thing? By help of merger or by the help of acquisition. Then desire to enjoy monopoly power. Merger and acquisition leads to monopolistic control in the market. Yes, it is usually seen when the companies are merging together or acquisitions are going to take place in the market within the companies. It is usually seen that they are monopolizing the whole market. So this is also one of the reason why they are merging and acquiring the companies. The next is the adoption of modern technology. Of course, when corporate organizations are coming together in the form of the merger or acquisition. They are acquiring the biggest technological advancement, that means the innovation. Suppose there is company A and company B. Company A merge with company B, or company A take over the company B. In that situation, whatever the technological advancements are there in both the companies, they come together and they make one technological advancement, which is one of the biggest thing in the merger and acquisition part. Then what are the benefits of mergers and acquisition? Number one is greater value of generation. That means merger and acquisition generally succeed in generating cost efficiency through the implementation of economic office code. As I have told you this thing, when two companies are coming together in the form of either merger or acquisition, they are getting the benefit of economic of scale. So this is one of the thing, that they are implementing the economic of scale and they are becoming cost efficient. Then second is gaining cost efficiency. The joint companies benefits in terms of cost efficiency, as two companies form new bigger company. That means the cost efficiencies can be taken care by the two companies when two companies are coming together and they are going to become a one company. That means they are becoming a big company, and in that situation the cost efficacy are going to be reduced. So two companies become one company. Then increase in market share. An increase in market share is one of the possible benefit of merger and acquisition. So it is said that in merger and acquisition, usually profitability increases. This is one point. Second is gain higher competitiveness. The new company is usually more cost efficient and competitive as compared to its financial weak parent organization. That means that when we are talking about the merger or the acquisition, in this situation, a new company is more cost efficient. That means two companies come together and form a new company that is more cost efficient, more competitive as compared to its financially weak parent organization. Then what are the problems of merger and acquisition? As we have talked about the benefits, as we have talked about the motive of merger and acquisition, now we are going to talk about the problems of merger and acquisition. Integration difficulties. This is the first more important point. When we are merging together or we are acquiring another company, in that situation integration is a very very difficult part, because you are integrating with two different organizations with different view of point of people, with different resources and with different assets. So integration is one of the important point for that. Number one is large or extraordinary debts. During the acquisition, it is usually seen when you are purchasing a company, you have to pay a lot of money to another company. Same with the merger also. So in that situation, your debts are becoming extraordinary. Then managers overly focused on acquisition. That means in the acquisition situation, what happened? Managers only look for the acquisition part instead of any merger. Then overly diversified. Sometimes it happens that you are not requiring to diversify in the market, but when you are acquiring any company, it becomes a competition for you, and it becomes compulsory for you that you become overly diversified. Then what are the strategies of mergers and acquisition? There is an important need to assess the market by deciding the growth factors through future market opportunities. So they are saying when you are making the strategies for merger or acquisition, you have to find out the market by deciding the growth factors through the market opportunities. That means whenever you are planning for merger or acquisition, you have, first of all, you have to see the uh, market, that what is the market, and you have to see the growth factor of the market, and then you have to see the future market opportunity. So there are three things which we have to see when we are making the strategies for merger or acquisition. Number one, we have to assess the market, then what is the market condition. Then we have to decide about the growth factor of the market, that how fast market is growing, and then what are the market opportunities in future. So these are three things you have to take into consideration before you are making the strategies for either merger or acquisition. Second is the integration process should be taken in line with consent of the management from both the companies venturing into the merger. That means they are saying that whatever the integration process takes place, it has to be taken with the consultation with the managers from both the companies, not from only one company. So it is always advisable that when you are making the strategies, both the managers from both the companies sit together and they integrate the process that how they are going to come up with the strategies. Then restructuring and future parameters should be decided with exchange of information and knowledge from both the sides. While we are merging, it is important to see that whatever the restructuring process are going to take place in future, it has been decided and the informations are going to be exchanged between both the management so that both the management can discuss in detail about the restructuring of the organization. As I have told you that in the merger there are two organizations, they combine together and become a new organization. So in that situation, restructuring is very important. So when you are restructuring the company, you have to identify this thing that how you are going to do the all the parameters taken into consideration for restructuring. Then there are five top merger and acquisition deals which usually takes place that I would like to give you the examples for that. Number one is Tata Steel and Chorus. They combined together, they merged together, and now they become the $12.2 billion company. Chorus is UK company, Tata is India company, and it happens in 2007. This is the largest India takeover. It is related with the steel manufacturing. Then next is Vodafone Hutchison, Hutchison SR. That means Vodafone is UK company, Hutch is Indian company. They combine together and they become a new big company, and the amount is the second largest takeover deal. Then third is Hindalco and Novelis. This is combine. They combine together, they merge together, and it becomes a 6 billion company. Hindalco is Aditya Birla company. Novelis is from different company. They combine together, and now it becomes Fortune 500. Next is Ranbaxy and Daiichi Sankyo. This fetch $4.5 billion. Ranbaxy is from India, Daiichi is from Japan. They join together, it is a pharmaceutical company, and they become one of the biggest stakeholder in the pharmaceutical market. So if we talk about all these companies, you can very well understand that how they are doing the merger, and these are usually taking place in the developing country. The next example which I would like to give you is the ONGC and Imperial Energy. It has fetched $2.8 billion. ONGC is Indian company and Imperial Energy is UK company. They combine together in the field of oil, and now it becomes one of the biggest company of the country. Now, what is the basic conclusion for the merger and that there are something which we have to take into consideration that learn from mistakes of others. That means example is HP and autonomy. What happened? They merged together, but they lost lot of money while they have merged together. Then you have to define your objectives very clearly. Here the example is AOL and Time Warner Cable. Then third point which we have to take into consideration, acquire expertise to interpret the changes. That means that you have to take the expertise advice when you are making the changes in the form of either merger or acquisition. This is very very important part, because if you are not taking the advices of the expertise, maybe you maybe fall in some wrong foot. So it is difficult for the organizations to go for the merger or acquisition directly. Then SWOT analysis for the merged company is must. That means that it is very very important to see regarding the SWOT analysis is concerned, that the company to whom you are going to merge, what is the strength, what are the weaknesses, what are the opportunities, and what are the uh, threats prevailing in that particular company. So you have to define all those things, and on the basis of that you have to find out that how the companies are going to take place. Then on the basis of merger and acquisition, I have just given you some questions. I would like to read out these questions, few of the questions. First question says, which of the following is not a type of corporate merger and acquisition transaction that can affect outstanding equity awards, divestiture, spin-off, private equity, and management buyout? You have to think over it. Whatever I have discussed with you regarding the merger and acquisitions are concerned, you have to think and then you have to give the answer for that. Then what is the difference between a merger and an acquisition? No real life difference. The terms are synonymous. An acquisition is a merger involving a hostile takeover. In a merger, there is never any acquiring or target two companies simply fuse. Or a merger is a type of acquisition in which the acquirer and the target combine to become one legal entity. Then, what term is often used in stock plan to donate and merger and acquisition transaction that can affect outstanding equity awards? You have to give the answer for this. Then there is one question which I have asked you: what happens to contributions in an employee stock purchase plan when the company is acquired? So here are four answers for that. Contributions are automatically rolled over into the employee's stock purchase plan of the acquiring company. Second, the offering and purchase period are cut off early, and purchase is made just before the closing of the deal. Then all the employee stock purchase plan shares are sold and the proceeds are reinvested in the stock of the acquiring company, or the ESPP is closed and all contributions are refunded to the plans participating. Then apart from that, there are some other questions which I have put up here. In what ways can vested stock option be handled when the company is acquired? Then how are vested stock option treated in merger and acquisition transaction? Then what is the typical tax treatment of restricted stock in an acquisition? So these are few questions which I have given to you. So you have to just think about the merger and acquisition, that what are the types of merger, how it is taking place, what are the benefits of the merger, what are the problems faced during the merger and acquisition process, and how we are going to overcome all those things. Because these are the things which are very very uh, interestingly prevailing in the present market scenario, that most of the companies are either going for the merger or going for the acquisition. Why? Because they want a bigger market share. So for acquiring the bigger market share, increasing the empire, or getting the maximum profitability, the companies are going for all these type of mergers and acquisition, which are going to be a big big plus point for the organization. But the problem is also there, that they have to understand this thing while merger or acquisition. There are a lot of problem regarding the restructuring of the new company. So it is very very essential on the part of the companies to take advice from some experts, so that it will be easier for them to restructure together, and the managers from both the companies sit together, discuss about the future plans, discuss about the new company's plans, policies, and on the basis of that they are in a position to direct the new organization for the better heights. So these are the things which we have to take into consideration when we talk about the merger and acquisition. And I am quite sure that you are very, very clear about merger and acquisition, and you are in a position to give the answer to anyone if somebody asks you what is merger, what is acquisition, and what are the types of merger and what are the types of acquisition, what are the basic benefits and what are the problems when we are going for the mergers. And in some, if somebody asks you about the examples regarding the merger or acquisition, I am quite sure that you are in a position to give the example for that. So this is from my side. Thank you very much.